In this lesson, we will see how we can light up for the character and how to make a turntable rendering. So the texturing is finished for the character and we have smoothed it and made it ready for rendering. So first step is we will start the lighting. So let's go to create lights and start with directional light. Now the lighting that we are going to do is one of the basic types of lightings. It's called 3-point lighting. So basically it involves 3 lights, one key light, one fill light, and one backlight. Okay, so this is our main light, which is called key light. So this basically provides the necessary lighting for the entire character. And this would create some unwanted shadows, which we can fix it with the help of the fill light. Before checking out the render, I just want to create some kind of background so that it will separate our character to show more depth. I'll go to create polygon primitives. I will create a plane, scale it to big size, okay, push it back a bit, and pick up all these last edges. I'll pick up these vertices, pull it up. Okay, I'll add a couple of edge loops here. Oh, select, insert edge loop tool, add one here, let's push it closer. I'll add one here, something like that. And then I'll push this somewhere back. Now this is just to create a smooth background so that you won't see any edges. I can even push these things a little up. Okay, now since it is a polygon face, it is necessary that we have to smooth this. Don't just press 3, you will have to smooth it by going to mesh, smooth. Okay, now when you set camera for rendering, make sure that these edges are not visible. Okay, so if it is still visible, what you can do is you can just scale this out. And make sure that the top is also tall enough so that it is not showing the sky. Okay, that's good enough. So let me set my camera now. Create cameras, camera. I'll choose camera, go back, and make sure that you turn on your resolution gate. Make sure that you change your resolution to HD 720. Now our camera set, our main light, that is our key light, is being set. I will turn on shadows for my key light, ray trace shadows. Let's go to render settings and make sure that we turn on ray tracing. Now let's make our first render. Okay, that looks nice. Now you can see that it has created a nice shadow for us. Now the background, you can leave it with this default gray color, or if you want to apply a color, you can just simply apply a white color. So I'll just go ahead and apply a Lambert. Don't apply blend because blend will give you reflections. It's better to avoid reflections. If you want to have reflection, you can also do that. It's up to you. So make it a little whitish. Let's make a render now. Okay, that's good enough. So first thing is, you can see that it's creating very sharp shadows. Let's soften that out. Select the light. Let's increase the light angle to 2. I will increase the shadow rays to something like, let's say 5. Let's make a full render. I will have to increase the shadow rays. 15. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so next is I have to avoid these shadows that are created by a fill light. So for fill light, I'm going to choose an area lights, area light. So area light is created in the center. I'll scale it out a bit. Let me look at a different view. I'll choose perspective here. Now we can also use spotlight, so it's up to you. And especially I'm not going to give any shadows for this area light, so that is why I choose area light. You can also choose spotlight if you want. Okay, let me look at the top view. And for the fill light, we will have to reduce the intensity. Should not have too much of brightness. We make the intensity to be 0.3. Let's check how the render looks. I accidentally changed my camera viewer. Save this image, make a new render. I think it's too bright. I will reduce the intensity of this 0.1. I think something between 0.1 and 0.3. Okay, I think something between the two. It's dark. You can see a bit of these details. I can make it 0.2. Let me see how that looks. Okay, that looks good. Compared to the previous one, you can see that it has got lots of light. So the next step is to create the backlight. So backlight will basically create a small rim. It is also called rim light on the character, so that it will help us to separate the character and the background. So let's go ahead and use a spotlight for that. So I'll create a spotlight, create lights, spotlight, panels, look through selected. So I'm looking through the selected spotlight. I will go behind the character, a little bit above. Okay, so I'll have to make sure that I'm seeing the whole character. Okay, we will have to experiment with this position. So let's give it a try. Let's see the render, how it looks. I'll save the previous one. I'll make a new render. Okay, so let's see. Here's a small rim that is creating. It's looking nice. Let's go ahead and check the previous one. Now, previous one, now, previous one, now. And you can also see some small rims in the hand. Okay, I don't see much of rim here. Okay, so that is one thing. And number two is we have this unwanted curve of this light. Okay, this is created by the spotlight on the ground. So what we can do is we can avoid this by disconnecting the light with this ground plane. So all I have to do is I can go to Window, Relationship Editors, Light Linking, Light Centric. Let's choose the spotlight and tell the spotlight not to affect this plane. So the plane is here, plane 1. So let me minimize that. I'll go ahead and do another render, just this bottom area. I'll select this bottom area. Okay, there you go. So that's nice. So we just have one single contact shadow by our key light, and then we have these nice rims created. Let me see how I can bring this rim light a little bit to this top area also. Let's compare how it was before, now, before, now, before, now. We also have some nice shininess here because of the rim light. Okay, so the rim light basically adds a bit more detail to show more depth. Okay, so the lighting is finished. Just the key light first. Okay, it has got dark shadows, then we add the fill light. Okay, and then we add the backlight, tweak the backlight. So this is our final lighting. So once the lighting is finished, then our last job is to make the final render. So before we do the render, it is better to make a turntable, meaning that we have to rotate this character to show the 360 degrees of the character. So what we can do is select the entire character. Okay, so I'll have to make sure that I don't select any lights. I'll deselect this, I'll deselect this. I think I made sure that I've selected this camera I don't want. So I'll deselect this camera. Okay, so now I've selected only the character. I changed the light's position. I'll undo that. I'll go back to camera. I'll go back to perspective. Okay. Now make this entire character into a group. Control G. And by default it will bring the pivot point to the center of the scene. Now this group we can rotate. So all I have to do is set a keyframe. I'll have to get my timeline. Let me go to display, UI elements, and where's my time slider and range slider. Okay, so my time slider is there, the range slider is there. I will make this range to something like 150 or 200. Sorry, 150. Okay, and in the frame number 1 for the character, now keep in mind, before when we do the background, we were actually animating the camera. So we select the camera and press S. Now this time we have to select the character and press S. So first keyframe, let's go to last frame, and we have to rotate it in Y-axis. Let's go to Y-axis rotation. Let's give 360. Now again at the last frame, let's press S. So that creates a keyframe. So let's go to the camera view. Let's play that and see. You can see that the character rotates 360 degrees. Now since our lighting is being fixed, our camera is fixed, only the character is moving. All I have to do now is just do the final render. So I can check all my render settings. Let me go ahead and check that. Choose camera. Now notice many of you have not done this and you end up rendering your perspective camera which doesn't have any animation, right? So make sure that you choose your camera. Okay, choose the format that you want, TGA, Targa, name hash.extension, frame padding give 4 or 3, give a name. This is going to be pencil camera 1, cam 1, and my images, source images, good enough. End frame 150. Camera is being chosen, format is chosen, everything is done. Let's go to software, production quality, ray tracing on. That's it, done. So once you're happy, save the file. I'll have to actually save this as camera 1, so save this as pencil cam 1. Okay, now all I have to do is go to that folder. Let me see, pencil cam 1, right click and choose render. So it will render. So while it is rendering, I'll choose my second movement, camera movement. So now all I have to do is I'll change my camera, take it closer, and I already have the animation for the character. Now the second one, I can choose an animation for the camera. So I'll start my camera showing from the top of the character. Okay, I'll select the camera this time, press yes. And I'll go to the last frame. I'll move the camera down to show till the bottom. Yes. So now my character will also rotate and the camera will also move. Now this will be my camera too. Now like this, you can make as many shots as you want. Let's say in one shot you can have only the camera to move. Maybe you can remove the animation for the character to rotate. So you just remove this, break connection. So now you will just move the camera. Okay, in another shot probably you just want to show the 360 degrees of the legs. So in that case, just bring the camera down for frame number 1. Let me select the camera. I will remove the existing animation, or I'll keep the last frame like that. Just the first frame I will change here. So I'll start from here, set key, and show just this leg. And in this time I'm just showing the leg. It's very slow, that's good enough, no problem. Okay, for this, just this shot, I want to rotate this character. I can do that too. Save, go to the last frame, rotated y-axis 360 degrees. Sorry, 360, yes. Set key. Or you can also right click and choose key selected. So now you will have only the close-up of the leg. So this could be your next camera. So like this, you have to make as many camera shots as you want, and you can do the final render. So once all your renders, all your cameras are finished, let me check how many frames are done. 3 frames. It does take time, that's okay. Fine. So once all your cameras finished, you can take this to Premiere, edit them, and make your final show reel of the character. Now that concludes our tutorial on lighting and rendering for character.